Hello, everybody. Welcome to AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter. I'm your friend, Madalyn Skylar. Today, we're going to be talking about some really cool things. I'm beside myself. I'm so excited. I've uncovered some really cool stuff with ChatGPT, Codex, and a really cool thing on Notebook LM. Notebook LM is one of those really underrated tools, and I really came across some interesting stuff, really in such a short period of time since our last chat here a week ago. When you come here and hang out with us, you're going to get helpful tips, tricks, and advice with AI that will help you work smarter, not harder, when it comes to your business and even your everyday life. If you're new here, welcome. I help creators and entrepreneurs get more done with AI to help boost their productivity without feeling so overloaded. Because, there's just so much of this stuff and it's hard to stay on top of it all. Now, if you ever need any assistance with your AI strategy, maybe you need to have somebody take a look at all your tools and help you audit those and figure out ways to help you save time and money, do get in touch because these are the kinds of things I do. Just reach out and I can provide some guidance and support, and we'll get you into my schedule. Our live stream here is brought to you by our AI Shortcuts to Work Smarter Skool community. I'll have the link up on the screen in just a moment. And let's see, we got Barb here with us. Hey, Barb, good to see you. We are live.
Great to see everybody again today. I got to tell you, it's always an adventure when we click the button.
I know, because you disappeared, so I went ahead
Right.
and got it started because I had to get this thing started because I have so many things to talk about. I'm so excited the things I've uncovered, especially because some of this stuff absolutely nobody's talking about. I'm like, wait a minute, how am I able to do this thing and no one's talking about it? Am I special, or is this just so brand new? I don't know. So part of it, I'm just so excited because of that. But come join us over on the Skool platform, y'all, because we continue these discussions over there. You can go to Skool, Skool, and look for AI shortcuts, or go use my bit.ly link, bit.ly/Madalyn Skool. That's like a good shortcut link that will get you there. But yeah, I'm really excited to dig in. Actually, let me show you all the AI shortcuts community. So if people are not familiar, this is our Skool community. It's like Facebook groups, but better, I think, personally. And so we have lots of different discussions going on here. This is the place to be. So be sure to, let me put the link back up. Be sure to join us over there. Hang out with us. Let me put that one up. Hang out with us in Skool because it is just, we only do this live stream once a week for an hour. So it's a way to stay connected with everyone. Hey, Venus, good to see you. This is my friend Venus, who did my video like a rock star, my 5-day video challenge that I hosted a few weeks ago on my other Skool. I have multiple Skool communities. My 5-day video challenge, which is still it's a do-it-yourself. Like, you can come over to my Skool and just go through it. It's super simple and easy, very short lessons. You can literally watch these lessons they're just a couple of minutes long, if even, some of them are just a minute long. Simple prompting of a video for you to make with your phone. But you can go sign up over at Skool. It's video like a rock star, but I also have a bit.ly link, bit.ly/VLAR, stands for video like a rock star, VLAR 5-day. Venus did my 5-day video challenge, and she's not normally comfortable making a short little video on her phone and just pressing the button and talking. So she did the 5-day challenge, done a tremendous job. Actually, I should play a little short video I have to show everybody what I'm talking about, because I do have a couple examples of that. And she is now posting, since doing this a few weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, we were in the middle of it. She did the 5 days. She's been posting videos on her social media nonstop, short little videos, just talking about her personal experience with chronic pain and using Kratom to help with that. And it's pretty amazing to see this transformation she's had. Hey, Larry, good to see you. Always great having you here. So yeah, let me show y'all real quick because I'm super impressed with this. And I know a lot of people are just not comfortable doing and it's not for everybody. It's totally fine. But if you want to get more comfortable with this. This program I have is so simple, is so easy. Let me find the video. I'm gonna play this really quick. This is a live show, so let me, switch screens, and I will play this really quick because there is an example with Venus and her transformation, and friend of this live stream, Jim Fuse, who's not here right now, he did it, and I wasn't expecting him to come join the 5-day video challenge because he does video regularly. He teaches people how to use video and live stream. He comes on here regularly. He hosts other live streams, but he was not comfortable just making short little videos on his phone and talking, doing the talking head, selfie talking head videos. And now, after doing the 5-day challenge, I'm seeing him pop up in my feed all the time with these short little videos, and he's monetizing his efforts. He is making videos demoing different audio and video products and putting the affiliate link in there. And I'm like, brilliant. And that was something he wasn't really doing it in this style before. And it's getting him a whole lot of attention now. So let me play this short little video that shows like, hold on, I'm trying to bring this up in my feed here. So I'm going to play this really quick and then we'll move on because I got so much cool stuff to show y'all. So here we go. I want to play a.
What's holding you back?
That wasn't it. Sorry, I pressed the wrong button.
What's holding you back from making videos like this where you just pull out your phone, press the record button, and talk? Hey, I'm Madalyn. I help content creators and all types of business owners get comfortable making short form videos. I help you build that confidence you need so you can just press the button. I think making videos like this is the easiest kind. See, I'm just doing it while I'm out walking my dog Lucy in the mornings. Yesterday, we finished my 5-day video challenge over in Skool, and it was amazing. I watched participants transform from day 1 to day 5 just by making videos like this, by pressing the button and doing it in a private community where there's no pressure and you're surrounded by other people doing the exact same thing. Let me tell you a little bit about some of our students this week. You had Venus, who is not comfortable making videos like this, and she joined because she wanted to build the confidence, and it's been amazing seeing her transformation, making a video like this every day, and she's gotten so comfortable now. She feels she's ready to make videos and put it on her social media. That is powerful because she has a powerful message to share, and I'm sure you do too. And then there's Jim, who teaches video, but his normal way of creating videos is doing live streams and teaching, doing technical stuff. What he has not been doing is this style video, where he's just pressing the button and talking and sharing his vast knowledge. And I've seen his transformation between day 1 and day 5, and it is incredible. So no matter where you at, whether you are comfortable on video or not, this style of video is a bit different for everyone. And if you haven't ventured into it, come over to our 5-day video challenge over at Skool. Go to Video Like a Rockstar at Skool.com, and it's available for you anytime to do at your own pace.
All right. I might have played that last week. I have a newer one. I realize I have not posted it yet, I think is the issue. But anyway, I've been watching Venus's transformation since then, and it's so cool. It's so awesome to watch how comfortable she's gotten now doing that. And the way I have this program set up, you come over to our Skool community, it's free to come do this, and you can just go in to each day, do it at your own pace. It's so simple and easy. Not long lessons or anything. And then you got the community there where you can put up your videos and it's just private. It's not for the world to see. And then you get more comfortable. You get feedback from all of us. All right, let's dive into all the cool things that I've been working on. I actually posted a newsletter on Substack yesterday. I was so proud of myself. The last time I did one was I'd done one prior to this, and it was back like at the end of December. And it was just this cool ChatGPT prompt, year-end prompt thing. And I remember talking about it here, this cool prompt to do. And I keep saying I'm gonna do Substack and I don't, but I came across some really cool stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna read this. It's short, it's not super long. I want to talk to you about like this cool stuff I'm doing on ChatGPT and how AI. I'm hoping others are starting to see this. We all know AI is the hey, let me ask you a question or let me, hear your thoughts on something. Now it's becoming so much more than that. It's becoming more than just, "Hey, chat, write me a tweet." So let me and ChatGPT Images 2.0 created this image for me so quickly, so easily. It gets the sizing right every time now, which I'm so impressed with. So let me read this and then we're going to talk about it. So, one of the biggest things I want everyone to understand right now is this. Most people still think AI is just write me a tweet, write me a blog post, or summarize this article. Like that's the style, right? But AI tools are rapidly evolving into something much bigger than that. They're becoming capable of handling actual tasks, workflows, and utility functions that used to require multiple apps, software tools, and technical skills. So I had a moment this week, it was actually yesterday, that really drove this home for me. I was working on a newsletter and I needed to resize a logo for a sponsor spotlight section. Now, normally that would mean I would open up Canva or Photoshop, I would resize it manually, I would export the image and then go upload it into the newsletter. And in this case, it was Substack. Instead, I was having a conversation with ChatGPT. So I'm like, I just asked it, well, I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to show y'all the actual conversation in just a little bit. But I was like telling it I need to make what I had. The logo I have was too big, and I need to be smaller because apparently Substack, whatever the size of the image you upload, that's the size. So I need a smaller one so it wouldn't take up so much space on the screen. It wouldn't let you adjust the width. And you know what ChatGPT did? ChatGPT resized it for me right there on the spot. So that's what it did. I didn't have to give it instructions to do this. I'm having a conversation. It just did it. Normally what ChatGPT would have told me, and this would have been last week, up to last week, this is what it would have told me. Yeah, if you go into Photoshop or Canva, you can resize it. Do you want me to show you how? Do you want me to tell you what to click? That's the kind of response I would get. Instead, it actually resized it for me and gave me 2 downloadable versions for me to look at. And I remember my jaw just dropped. I'm like, holy cow. That's why I knew I had to write this article. So just to be for transparency, I do have a ChatGPT Plus account, which costs me $20 a month. And that's probably why I'm getting access to some of these newer features. Everybody might not have this yet. So it's very possible that I was able to do this because look, I'm hoping all of you can go do stuff like this. But if you're on a free account, you might not. Even if you're on a paid Plus account, maybe I got things rolled out to me sooner than others because this literally just happened. It was not doing this before. I've seen a big shift this week, but we're going to get into it later because there have been some other upgrades inside of OpenAI. But the shift that I'm starting to see right now is this. AI is moving from here's the information you want to here's the completed task. And that was a great example yesterday. And again, I'm going to walk you through it more step by step so you can actually see my discussion with chat and how it all played out. But I'm super impressed how these are all becoming completed tasks now. And honestly, I think most people still haven't caught on to how big these types of changes are. So this is where things start getting really interesting. What's happening now is that AI systems are starting to combine conversations, memory, file handling, image editing, automation, workflows, coding utilities. You probably keep hearing about Codex. We all have heard about Claude Cowork. I'm going to talk about that more later. And then also browser interactions, like taking all this into one experience. Instead of us having to bounce around back and forth between, say, ChatGPT and then Canva and then Google. Like normally we have to just go bounce around between all the things, but it's changing the experience to just bring it all together so that we'll be able to stay inside one workspace and ask for what we need in plain English. That's exactly what happened with me yesterday. So this is a massive shift in how people are going to be working. And what I want to know is, are you noticing a shift in AI lately? Are you noticing things with these tools? Are you noticing it with ChatGPT? Because I'm definitely seeing this shift with ChatGPT right now. I did declare several weeks ago here in this live stream that I was going to go all in on Claude. Uh, we've had some discussions about it because the only time I use Claude is either on the free account or inside of Magi, and I do have a paid Magi, so I can do more with it in there. But I just don't want to let go of ChatGPT. It helps me so much as my brainstorm partner, and I've used it for years and years. But I thought, let me just get a paid Claude and let me just do some experiments, and maybe I'll do what everybody keeps talking about and just move everything over there. But I wasn't going to just immediately do it. Let me just gradually. But I stopped myself a few weeks ago from even going down that road because, as we all know, ChatGPT came out with Images 2.0, and that was mind-blowing. And I'm like, oh my gosh, ChatGPT images got even better than Nano Banana. And I'm like, wait a minute. Do I really want to go invest a ton of time in Claude when ChatGPT is making it, for me personally, and this is just my own personal thoughts, it's making it where I don't need to leave. I got everything I need in this one place. But when I need other things, then I just go use my paid Magi because I can do everything in there. And I've talked to you all about that in the past here. It's a great all-in-one platform I'm a big fan of. So I kind of put the brakes on Claude. Now, this, as of last week, so last Friday, so we were here last Thursday. Last Friday, I am also, realizing that I've got to go learn more about this whole codex, because we keep hearing about ChatGPT or OpenAI has this codex, which we can all download now, but it sounds like it's for coders. It sounds like it's Claude Cowork, which is their version of being able to do coding and stuff. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it all out, but I'm learning some things from this. And a bizarre thing in all this is that apparently I have Codex, not necessarily Codex the app, but I have some kind of integration inside my ChatGPT right now that I want to discuss with y'all, because I'm just like, wait a minute, at every turn, I things keep really shifting for me, and I'm like, it's like, what's going on here? Like, this seems kind of strange to me. Like, how is it all of a sudden now that let me show you this article, because I'm thinking, wait a minute, I'm able to do, ChatGPT tells me that I can do codex features inside without having to download the app. And I'm thinking, like, telling me I can do workflow things that normally, you couldn't really do unless, like, you go download the app and do all this other technical things. So I'm trying to understand, well, nobody's talking about this. I'm not hearing discussions about this. So I found this article. Let's see if I can bring it up. I'm trying to find, is this all becoming an all-in-one? Is OpenAI trying to make ChatGPT, according to this article, is trying to turn it into a super app? This article says OpenAI's ChatGPT, Codex, and Atlas are becoming one super app. Now, this was an article that came out back in March, so it was a few months ago, but it's basically talking about how OpenAI is combining the ChatGPT app, the Codex coding agent, and that's like a separate app, and the Atlas browser into a single desktop super app. And I'm like, I think I kind of have this right now because of what ChatGPT is telling me. Apparently, Codex, they want that to be the anchor with the agentic capabilities, so, because everybody's been talking about this whole Codex. I've been kind of trying to learn more about it. Barb, have you been hearing about it? Because it's been a little confusing to me. It seems to be really for the coders and the super techies. Then they download it, and then they can do all these things with it. I don't know if you've heard about it much.
I've heard about it, and I have. In fact, I invited. He's in your Skool community. A fellow from the UK that I live stream with every Tuesday morning, and he has done some some stuff with it. He's going to be announcing it tomorrow. But his goal, he was in his prior life was, a chief accountant kind of person, and he went into the marketing side and is just having a blast with AI. I know he'll be watching this, and if he's watching it on replay or whether he's watching it live. But I haven't personally gotten into it, I'll be honest, because you go down the road so long, and I said, do what you do and do it well. What is it doing for you personally? And that's and we see all these new things, all the bells and whistles, but are we using them? And are they getting any feedback? Because why do we use it? And I really got into it in one of my Facebook groups in the last 24 hours because they were just poo-pooing AI completely. And I said, wait a minute. I was an artist when I was 4 years old. I didn't have a computer to work with, but I was an artist do you remember the pixel art? I mean, it was really fill the color in this block, and that was how we put the blocks around. And I never ever dreamed of doing any programming. And lo and behold, within the early days of computing, I had to learn JavaScript. And it really wasn't that hard. So I figured, well, everybody's talking about it, but show me the productivity. And so that's why I've kind of held off. So I'm really glad I'm connected to you because
well,
shame on me.
I'm trying to put all the pieces together because I've been really confused because yesterday is when I think it was all coming together when I was able to have that logo resize thing just happen. But last week, I'm trying to learn about codecs because I want to learn more about it so I can talk to all y'all about it here. And, we can have discussions about it because it sounds like it's this next big thing for OpenAI. So what I do, because I've really just been confused by all this because I keep hearing about it constantly. I don't know what to make of it. So, because I'm just trying to understand, because I thought I was going to go spend time with Claude, and everybody's been raving about Claude, and it's not just the Claude chat anymore, like our ChatGPT chat. It's Claude Cowork. It's Claude Code. It can do all these things, but they're all separate things inside the one big thing. And I think that's what OpenAI is trying to do, is make this super app so you can be doing all these things in one place. Because that article I pulled up a moment ago, it had also said that, because back in March, it's talking about, this unified app. And so it said that it would be built around Codex, which has already grown into over 2 million weekly active users. So that's the separate app for the coders. And in March, it was already nearly 4 times its figure from January. And now here we are a few months later, it's probably even bigger. Maybe it's double. Maybe it's at 4 million active users. And maybe that's why they're starting to integrate it into ChatGPT. Because this article said OpenAI plans to add agentic features to Codex first. So that's what's been happening. So the app can handle productivity tasks beyond coding before folding it into ChatGPT and Atlas. So I think I somehow got it into, because I'll use ChatGPT on desktop. I use the Atlas browser a lot, but that article did say that mobile ChatGPT app would remain separate and unchanged. So any of these types of features making ChatGPT more agentic. I mean, we know it has the agent feature. It's interesting how nobody talks about that agent feature anymore. I've played with it on occasion and I like it, but this is really trying to integrate it more. And for those of us who are not the techies that are trying to write code, it can help us with workflows. So kind of like yesterday with the resizing of the logo, normally is, hey, chat, where should I go to resize this logo? Because I need to do this real quick. And it would tell you where to go and the steps, right? It would tell me, go to Canva, do this, this, and this. Whereas instead, it just did it for me. And it's like, oh, I think this is bringing in these new capabilities, but nobody's talking about it. I cannot find one video or article recent, where they're saying this is being rolled out now. This is being integrated. Some of y'all are getting it. So I don't know. I still have a lot to figure out with this. This is just tip of the iceberg. Hopefully I'll have a lot more information by next week. So I can't wait to like keep sharing with y'all because I'm blown. Because again, yesterday I was not expecting it to just give me the logo, and I didn't even resize. I didn't even ask it to. I just said, oh, here's the logo I have, but it's too big. I need it to be smaller. I'll show you all that chat in a minute because it's quite interesting. Larry says he's been using Claude Cowork with MCPs and running scheduled tasks. I haven't had the time to explore Codex. AI changes and additions is just too fast to keep up. Exactly. This stuff moves at lightning speed. And with Magi, I know that Dustin has made it so that you can utilize MCPs. I know he has connectors in there. But what Codex is trying to do is just bring this all in, like not Codex, trying to bring Codex in so it doesn't have to be the separate app, and it's not just for the coders and let's program things. It's for the rest of us with workflows and things to just make it so much easier. I feel like I'm just going all over the place because there's just so many different things I was looking at with this. Let me do this. Let me start with, I want to show y'all the conversation I had with resizing the logo because it was just so interesting when I did this yesterday. So unexpected the way this all played out. So let me pull up the chat so I can show you what exactly happened, and it'll probably make more sense. So just bear with me because this is a live show. Okay, let's see. Let me pull this up on the screen. So I'm in a chat yesterday with ChatGPT, and so this is what I said. This is what I said. I said, let me show you what I have, because I first asked it, can you go find me a logo? Since mine was too big, I thought, well, I'll just tell the company name and hopefully it'll go get me find me a smaller logo. But it came back with older logos, like some of their older logos they don't use anymore. So I said to it, let me show you what I have, because I had it right there with me on the computer. I'm like, let me show you what I have. It just needs to be smaller. And here's what it said to me. Okay, yeah, that makes much more sense. And honestly, this logo is way better for the newsletter than the old one. Is cleaner and more modern. The issue in the design is just the raw dimensions. It's 1280 by 1280. That's a big image, 1280 by 1280 pixels, right? And Substack is going to display it really big like that because it does not scale it down, which I was surprised that it doesn't do that. So it's telling me you need a resized version. I'd make it somewhere around 180 by 180 pixels or 250 by 250. And so, we're having this discussion. And I said, I'm trying to think, well, I would probably have to go into Canva and resize it manually. And I was trying to think, I'm not sure off the top of my head how I should do this or what to do. So I said, can you do that? Done. Here it is. I resized it for you in two smaller versions so you can test which one looks best. It gave me a 250 by 250 and a 180 by 180. It tells me the 180 by 180 pixels will probably be the best one. And I downloaded it and it was perfect. It was exactly what I needed without me having to go run around and do these steps. So of course, y'all know me. I said, wow, you are amazing. You can literally size something for me. So here's what it said. Yep. That's actually a perfect example of the kind of practical workflow stuff that's becoming really useful now. You don't need Photoshop, Canva, or another app. You said, make this smaller, and I handled it. And that's the key phrase right there. It's telling me, you needed this to be smaller. I handled it. It just went and did it for me. It wouldn't have done that. If this was earlier in the week or last week, what it would have said was, you could go do this in Canva or Photoshop. Do you want me to tell you how? That's what it would have said. And I would have said, yeah, because I don't remember how to do it. I don't do it that often. So it's like, I don't remember how to resize it. So I would have said, yeah, tell me how to do it in Canva real quick. And it would have given me the steps.
Can she get up?
So
Come on.
Barb, yeah. So I wasn't expecting it to just do it automatically. So I was still just, I was kind of in a state of shock. I'm just like, you know, how on earth did it do this? And why did it do this? Because this goes back to what I always say, we're all about trying to work smarter, not harder. Well, that's what this is doing for me. I'm not having to put in nearly as much work. If it can start doing things like this for me inside the native ChatGPT, that's a game changer. And I'm thinking,
Right.
why is nobody talking about this? Is it because, so I'm thinking I must have some kind of early access. I'm on the $20 a month plus plan on ChatGPT. If you're on ChatGPT, see if chat will do this for you. And I don't think it's going to do it on a free account. It would probably be on a paid account. But and I'll explain what it told me about that in a moment. But I'm trying to find out for, how exactly did it do this? And what it told me was it said you upload the image, and what chat did is it used Python image tooling behind the scenes. It resized it and gave me a downloadable version. So it's got the tools inside there to do this. And I'm like, okay, it wasn't what I was expecting it to do. And it reminded me, it said a year ago, this workflow probably would have looked like open Canva or Photoshop, resize it manually, export it, and then go re-upload it into Substack. It says, now you can ask in plain English and get it handled in chat. That's the big shift you're noticing. That's what ChatGPT told me. So I'm starting to get workflow things handled inside the chat. I'm hoping others are going to start having this ability because it's really cool. And it just goes back to me saying to myself, do I really want to go invest a bunch of time in Claude? I'm sure Claude can do a lot of cool things. But if I want to write in Claude, I can go to my free Claude account, or I can go into Magi, and I've got all the different Claude versions. Sorry, Barb, go ahead.
While you were doing that, I logged into ChatGPT, and Codex is marked because I also have the $20 version of it. And there is a Codex tab right on.
Yes.
Yeah. So yes. I think it's there, and I have noticed I have not purposely done it. Its whole interaction with me is major different, because I didn't even think, because we have prior versions of ChatGPT in our archives, basically, what it's stored there. And I thought, well, most of this stuff I've already dealt with. I told you I kept stuff on a different website and so forth. But I thought, I'll just see, because it has all these iterations of me. So that's the image side, as well as all of the context, things I've been asking it and so forth. And I said, I haven't been doing this for a few days, and I need to rev up the engine. I mean, I talk like that too, it's so help me, girlfriend, talking to it like it's a person.
I always do. I talk to it like it's a person.
Okay, well, okay then. So
I always have. I tell people, talk to it like a person. It works best for me like that. Yeah, I saw that Codex thing, like before it would say like, use Codex, and it usually would take you to the thing you can download. But then I saw something about Codex, and I'm like, well, I want to understand exactly what this is. So I'm going to show you in a minute the conversation I had and how I learned what all this is and what it can do. And ChatGPT literally told me I have it already in app. But real quick, Larry did post a couple of comments I want to get to real quick. He said, Claude is complex in that way. In order to use Claude code, you have to download separately. Right. And I think what OpenAI is trying to do is make it so you don't have to have, because right now you got to have Codex as a separate app. You got to have the browser. If you want the browser, you got to have Atlas. And then you got your native ChatGPT. So, those couple articles I found from a few months ago is talking about OpenAI wants to make a super app, but nobody's talking about it anymore. But from everything, those little bits I've read, like that one article I showed y'all, I think I've got it integrated in. But that's interesting that you say all that, Larry. And but yeah, if it was all integrated in, it would be a real game changer. Also, Larry says at this point, Notebook LM is probably the most cohesive LLM app at this point, even though the functionality is much lower compared to Chatty. He calls ChatGPT Chatty and Claude. And I'm going to show you, I hope I have time because I got a really cool thing with Notebook LM I did last night that was really, really interesting. Let me show you real quick though, because this whole codex thing, I'm trying to understand exactly what this is and like how will this work? Like, do I have to go download something? Do I need to download something? Because I'm not a super techie, I'm not a coder, but it sounds like Codex can do some interesting workflow things. So let me pull up this chat. Because this is the conversation I had with it last Friday. I literally, like I said, I talked to it like a person. I said, tell me about the new Codex feature. Would that be something, what would be something I would use it for, and how different is it from connectors? Because I thought it seems similar to connectors. I was reading those web pages OpenAI has talking about Codex. I'm like, do I need to download it? I'm not sure if I need to download this thing. So here's what it tells me. Here's the clean, no BS way to think about Codex versus connectors and where it actually matters to you. Codex, it says, forget the old code autocomplete idea that's outdated. OpenAI's Codex today is an agent, not just a tool. It's built to do work on your behalf, not just answer questions. So it said a simple way to frame this is ChatGPT helps you think, Codex helps you execute. So I thought, okay, well, that's interesting. So I'm trying to figure this thing out. And I want to know, what would I use this for? And ChatGPT knows me, so it says what I would actually use it for. Since I'm not a developer, it says ignore 80% of the hype, because all I hear is hype about this Codex. And that's why I haven't downloaded it yet, because I don't think I need it. But here's where it's telling me it can work for me. It can automate repeatable content workflows. So instead of write me a description, now write it for X, now format it. And it knows this. This is a typical workflow for me, because it is basing this off of conversations I've had. I'll go make a short form video, and then I'll go to chat and say, help me with a description. Now, okay, that's good. Now help me write it specifically for X and specific for you. All right, microphone. And so it's telling me the scenario. It knows my scenario. Now rewrite for X. Now format it for this and that. It said, and then it's telling me you could say, take this video, generate titles, description, pin, comment, format, and list all the things I want it for. And Codex would actually run that workflow, not suggest it. And it will remember this. They do have improved memory. I need to show you all those, because they have talked this week about there's improved memory. There's the new ChatGPT 5.5. So it's walking me through these scenarios of how I could do this. So basically, instead of how do I do this, chat, it's chat's like, I did it. Here's the results, which is like my logo example.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out how do I go do this? And it's like, you know what? I just did it for you. And so we had this long discussion about it, because I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Then it tells me about the difference between this and connectors, because connectors is how you can add like your Google Drive and Notion and Slack and things like this, and what it lets you do. And what the connectors do inside of ChatGPT is passive. It says Codex is all about action. It's not just reading your stuff like connectors, because I haven't done a whole lot with connectors yet either. I'm trying to just learn about this and educate myself and figure out what of these features should I use. But it's telling me with Codex, it just does all the things. So with the scenario here, it says like with a Google Doc, connector would just say, here's what your Google Doc says, whereas Codex would say, I updated and reformatted it. Done. Like the thing is done. Here's another one I like. Let's say you have a project, you go using connector, and it'll just help you with a plan. And same with just a chat inside ChatGPT. Codex says, I built version 1. Here you go. Like it's doing the things. So it's doing the execution. So it's incredibly interesting. And then I just go into I'm trying to learn how can it build like a workflow. And so I got these ideas. I just haven't had time to actually put it to use yet. But it's letting me know that this is something I can start doing now, right inside. Like I don't have to go get the app. And that's what I was just so surprised from, because I wasn't expecting. Let me find where it tells me that, because it literally tells me I have it in here. Like, I don't have to go download anything. And so I just need to go spend time playing with it. And it also asked it about, is it similar to Claude's Cowork? And it says yes, but not quite the same. Claude Cowork is Anthropic's version of an AI operator, whereas Codex is OpenAI's version of an AI operator, but they do work a little bit differently. So, you can go into your AI and just ask it these questions so we can explain all this to you. So at least you have like a real understanding of how this works. I need to find where it tells me because it literally told me I have this, so I don't need to download anything. But I'm going to put some workflows into action, so it was giving me ideas for like a master prompt, and it will remember it. And I just tell it, like, go run this workflow. Like, we give the workflow a name, and I said, well, how do you want me to tell you? So just tell me to run, whatever the name of the workflow is. And it'll just go do it. It'll do everything. So basically, I can go make my short form video, go into chat, and have it run the workflow. Because prior to that, I've tried to build workflows inside of ChatGPT in the past, and it would kind of let me build something, but it wouldn't remember it for long, and it was always an ongoing issue. So I just would always just manually, and I would remind it, here's a description I used last week for this video, kind of like, this is the style, but I need you to help me make it geared towards the actual content of this video. I was always having to guide it and give it all those specifics. And I know people talk about how with Claude, you don't have to do stuff like that as much, that all that stuff's improved. But it's just like, okay, but do I go over there and spend all that time? And then here comes ChatGPT telling me I can be doing all this stuff here.
I'm going to stand my ground with the ChatGPT right now. I got too many things going on. And it, with me as well, when I ran into the detail, like never before in this last week, it knew all this stuff about me. Like I told you, I was going through the prior versions, and that I had all these archives, and it came and put it all together again and said what I've learned since. I mean, it was just a totally different experience. So yeah. I don't, because it is Claude, they're going to be improving it too. And there's only so much. You do have to be aware, budget conscious. Unless you're a mega millionaire, you got to be paying attention to that as well. And I just don't.
Right.
It's that shiny object syndrome. It's a point of, okay, I can do this, but what am I doing with it? And how's it making a difference? So like what you said in that flow, you could do the things with X, you could do the things with Skool, you could do them on Facebook or whatever. That's what you need, because we only want to have to do it one time.
And exactly. That's exactly what I'm trying to do.
So that's the why. I mean, I'll learn it for that, because I want to save time.
Yeah. And so I keep finding these reasons to stay. I can't find where it was, because it was a long chat going back and forth, but it literally told me at one point, you have it. I'm able to, because I'm like, well, do I need to go download Codex for workflow stuff? And said, no, you can do. And I don't see that, like the button you mentioned, Barb, in ChatGPT, it tells you like the Codex, and you click.
I
don't have it anymore.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I know what you're talking about. Well, I mean, it does say, like, yes, on the left sidebar, I see the Codex, but what it does, it opens up a new window, a tab, to go download the app. Yeah. So what I was asking ChatGPT was, do I need to go download the app? And because when I was having this exchange, and it's a long one, and it's giving me scenarios, somewhere in there, I'll need to go find it, take a screenshot. I'll put it on my social media.
Okay.
I'll put it in Skool.
Yeah.
It literally told me, you have it here. You just tell we'll
Maybe
set
you
up
do.
we set up a workflow and you just tell me the workflow and I'll go run the whole thing. Like I don't have to go download the
Do
app.
that. Let us know, because I
Yeah.
did just check on that tab again, and you're right. It opened up in another tab. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Just, you may have. Be nice if they'd let you know.
Right. I know. And so this was just, I figured it out through a long back and forth discussion, just trying to wrap my head around what exactly is Codex? Do I need to download this app? How's this different from connectors? What about this versus Claude? Like, I'm just trying to understand. And you know what? Most of this conversation was taking place while I was out walking my dog. I remember because I was on my phone and I remember just reading some of this stuff going, oh my God, I'm going to like go sit down at my desk and like really go through this, because it was just giving me all these great ideas of how I could do this. And it seems so simple.
Yeah.
Like really simple. It's just a once and done. You set it up once and it's going to remember all this. I just wish I could find the part where it tells me like, oh yeah, you have this now. Like you don't have to download anything. I was like, what? Oh, here's something. I also said, okay, maybe it's in this part somewhere. I said, because I'm thinking, I gotta be able to talk about this, like explain, like I said, give me one sentence to explain what Codex can do. And here's what it said. Codex is an AI that can delegate real work, not just ask questions. It's like handling tasks to an assistant who actually does the work instead of just telling you how.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's going to be a game changer for people to be able to have things actually get done, and make this where you don't have to be a techie, you don't have to be a coder, you don't have to go have all this, because I keep hearing about the Codex app, but I'm kind of intimidated. I'm like, am I going to know what to do with this? Like when you go to that Codex page that's on ChatGPT, that is for developers. That's like, you look at that page and you go, I don't really understand this. So I don't even know if I should be downloading it. So that's why I think when I uncovered the article talking about the super app is what they want this to become. It's like, okay, this is basically, and I came up with this little tagline the other day. I said, oh, this is going to be Codex for the rest of us. Because that's basically what it is. It's like, okay, you're going to be integrating Codex into this where we don't need to be techies. We don't need to go download that app. I mean, go to that app page, that page that it takes you to inside of ChatGPT. Click on Codex. It's on the top left side menu. And it's like, gives you 3 different ways to download it. I'm like, huh? This is kind of complicated. The only videos you can find with tutorials and stuff are techies and coders talking about how to use this with the app. So I'm like, but wait a minute. ChatGPT told me it's integrated into my native app here. So somebody's got to be talking about this. And it's like nothing. So I'm thinking maybe they're slowly rolling it out or just having small groups have access. And maybe I just randomly, that used to happen with Twitter, years ago, Twitter. Right. I would randomly have a feature. I've had features on Twitter back in the olden days that nobody had for like a year, like things like that. And sometimes they'll take a small group, super random, to try things and test them. And many times you don't know unless you stumble upon it, because it's not. So that's why I'm thinking this must be a very small group that randomly has, just like in the old Twitter days, because no one's talking about because they don't want everybody to know. It's like, let's just throw it in and see who figures out they can be doing more stuff. And I mean, because I'm not afraid to be in a chat with ChatGPT and just keep asking it questions, because I'm learning. And that's what happened. It's like this. I saw the start of that chat. I literally is asking it. All I said was, tell me about the new Codex feature. What would be something I would use it for? How is it different from connectors? That was the start of this really long discussion where somewhere in there it told me I have it now integrated. I keep seeing everybody talk about Codex. I keep seeing you got to go download an app. Well, let me just ask Chat. Let Chat tell me exactly. And Chat knows me. I think that's the key. Chat knows me and knows what my needs are.
Well,
And in
you know,
that conversation, it says, like I was reading to you at one point, it says 80%, of what you do, that like, you don't need that. It's like there's all that hype. No, but the part you can use this for, it's like I can go ahead and do it for you now inside of here.
mhm. Right.
So, that's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. But I'm just saying, I don't think a lot of people have it. And maybe you don't know until you go investigate like I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, Larry, you're right. If you click on Codex, it's to go download that app locally to get started. And my understanding is it's very similar to the Claude code, because Claude code, you have to, have that separate to do the coding. So you asked it, can I use Codex style coding assistance right here in chat? The answer is basically yes. ChatGPT now has, okay, so maybe we just don't know until we ask it and find out. So Larry is saying ChatGPT is telling them now has a lot of Codex functionality baked into it, especially for coding. So I think they're trying to put workflow automations in there. Again, it goes back to that article I was showing y'all, because I'm like, certainly there's some, I actually asked ChatGPT for resources. I said, isn't anybody talking about this? Aren't there any articles out there about this? And I had a very hard time finding anything about this, but that article I showed, it was from Times of India. There was only that in a Reuters article. Like, there was nothing. But let me bring this up again. This article, hold on, let me pull it back up real quick. And then I want to make time in the moment here, the cool Notebook LM thing I just did. Okay, so back to this. This is literally like the most I could find out is that apparently they're trying to make it a super app where it's going to combine ChatGPT, Codex, and Atlas in one. That's their plan. So I think for me right now, if I want to be doing Codex type workflows, which is agentic, right, is the done for you, I now have that ability. So anybody here with ChatGPT, I imagine I would think on the free plan, you probably can't do it. You might need to have a paid plan, but I'm only doing the $20 a month. I'm on the plus. But yeah, just go to ChatGPT and ask it if it can. Everybody should just go in there, even if you are on a free. Ask it, say, can you do Codex workflows for me in here without me downloading the app? Or do like what Larry said, where he said, Larry's prompt was, can I use Codex style coding assistance right here in chat? I mean, for me, it was all about workflows. I don't want to do the coding stuff, but yeah, just ask. Whenever in doubt, ask ChatGPT or your favorite LLM, whatever your questions are. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I think that's the bottom line here I'm trying to get across. Don't be afraid to ask questions. That's the bottom line. I want to show y'all something really cool to wrap up here. But I will uncover more info. I know I was all over the map with this. I was so excited as I was learning this stuff in the past week, and especially a lot of this playing out yesterday. So I will continue to share what I uncover. I imagine, next week when we come back, I'll probably know a lot more that I can share, and probably and I want to try to work on getting a workflow in place and see if it'll actually do it like it's telling me it would. With my short form videos, because it would really be an absolute game changer if it could.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's do Notebook LM real quick here, because I tried this really cool thing. So last night I came across an article from Neil Fairmont. It's called the Creator Cafe. And he talks a lot about video stuff. So I came across this talking about a lot of interesting ideas utilizing Notebook LM. So he's talking about Notebook LM. We all love that audio overview feature. It's so cool. Notebook LM is just one of those underrated tools that can do very interesting things. I don't think to use it all that much, but when I do use it, I'm always blown away every single time. So I'm reading through the article, and he had something really interesting he said to do. And you know, you can, all this stuff works great on the free version. I do not have a paid version. I use the free. And for those that don't know, Notebook LM is a Google product, but you can go to notebooklm.google.com and it's free. So he had this interesting idea. He said, go create a new notebook and upload one piece of content you've already created. It could be a presentation, a PDF, an article, even a YouTube video URL of a talk you gave. And then click generate on the audio overview. And for those that don't know, that audio overview is so cool. It basically creates this podcast of a male and female talking about whatever the information is you feed it. And I still remember showing all this in a live stream here a couple of years ago when it was new and it could do that. And I remember being blown away, and I gave y'all a really great idea. Like, if you ever want to boost your ego, you go into Notebook LM and you, for the sources, you give it the sources, give it your LinkedIn and a web page or information that has about you, like your about you information. So I have a website. I have like an about me page on a website that like has a lot of, like, it just has my 30-year histories, you know, as a digital entrepreneur. I fed it that link and my LinkedIn link. And the audio overview, which is basically a podcast, was wild. It's these two people talking all about me and saying amazing things about me. And I remember playing it live here. I hadn't even listened to it before. And I'm like, I can't wait to hear what this says, but it was new. And I'm like, this is the kind of things we do here. It's like, here's something new, shiny new object. Let's see what this is. And it was just amazing. But I just forget to use this darn tool because it does interesting things. So Neil's talking about, take a piece of your content, put it in there, generate the audio overview, go listen to the first 5 minutes. You're not listening to judge the AI. You're listening to hear your own expertise reflected back at you in a format you wouldn't have produced yourself. It's a useful mirror. I'm like, heck yeah. I mean, this is like late last night. I'm like, I got to do this. What a great idea. And then he says, then decide, is there something in there worth sharing with your audience? Most of the time, the answer is yes. And it's basically saying like this isn't a magic shortcut. The quality of what Notebook LM produces is directly tied to the quality of what you put in. So, you know, you give it sources, websites, files, links to YouTube. I've put in links to other people's, you know, I'll see some really great YouTube videos where they're talking about sales or marketing or whatever, and I'll just feed it in there and then go listen to the audio overview. You can also click to have it give you an infographic. You could ask it questions. You can do all this stuff. And when you're doing that audio overview, you can even interrupt it and ask questions while that audio of these AI podcasters is pretty amazing. So I just had to go do this real quick last night. I'm like, oh, I got to go upload something in there and do this because what a great idea. Let me go real quickly as we wrap up, put in the one I did last night. Because I was thinking, okay, I got to go put a video in and try this out as an exercise, because I just thought, wow, what a great exercise to do. So let me see if I can. Hold on, I got to actually, you know, you got to click all these things in StreamYard to bring up what you want. Okay, so what I did last night, I immediately had to try this. All I did was one thing. My source, which is right here, is one video. That's all I did. The video is a clip from this live stream we did recently, where I talked about the, you know, just hit record, just start, because I've been doing my 5-day video challenge, which I talked about earlier. And I have a new Skool community. It's called Video Like a Rock Star. And I thought, you know what? I have this clip of me talking about my program, but also sharing a workflow I did where I played a video for y'all of like this short video of me promoting the challenge and then explaining to y'all how I recorded and edited this video while I was walking my dog Lucy in 30 minutes with one hand, because I have the leash in one hand, I have my phone in the other. In the span of that walk, I recorded all the parts, I edited it together. And then when I got back home, because I needed two hands for the very last part, I wanted to put a title on this one part of Skool.com, video like a rock star. So I had to wait till I got home, put that part up because I needed to type in the title, and I just needed both hands for that. And all of that is talked about in this excerpt of this live stream a few weeks ago. So I'm like, this is a great exercise. So I put the video in. That's what you see here. ChatGPT helped me make that image, by the way. All right. So, power of video, building confidence and beating overthinking. So it gives you your overview here. You can ask it questions. One of the pre-made questions where I clicked was, what are the benefits of a 5-day video challenge? Gave me some great, I'm like, oh, I could write a blog post with some of this stuff, or maybe do some tweets. But I come over here and I clicked on audio overview. I also wanted to make an infographic. And you can do different styles of infographic. But what I did is I did 2 different ones. Let me show you those real quick. So this one was the first one I did. And I didn't even try to do a specific style. I just did the auto. So just pick a style. I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. This is based on the excerpt of that video. Again, it's a clip of, it's not this whole live stream. It was just a clip where it's the part I talked about just pressing the button, don't hesitate. And I'm doing this program and playing the video and talking about how I recorded that video while I was on my dog walk. So it's giving you all this in an infographic, but wait, there's more. I did 2 of them because I'm like, oh, I want to actually put the style of the art. And so I did like sketch, I think it was. So then it made this one. This did this in seconds, by the way. So here's the sketch version. I like it even more. It's like, oh, I got to put that up on social media. It wrote it all perfectly. There's nothing misspelled. It looks great. This is super cool. So then I'm like, okay, let's do the audio thing. And the audio, if you can do the audio, you can also do a video overview. And the video overview is more like a PowerPoint. But the audio overview is, if you've never done one of these with this audio overview, it's super cool. But it does take a while to generate. But I generated it last night. So let's see if I can play a little bit.
Literally kill.
At the beginning.
It's funny how often we disguise our procrastination as preparation. Like, think about it for a second. Let's say you decide, right, I want to start running. For most of us, we don't just put on our old sneakers, step out the front door, and actually start jogging.
Let me forward. It does this really long thing that has nothing to do with it, but it's painting a scenario before it goes into the specifics of what my video is about. Let me see if I just forward a little bit. Sometimes you move it, it's a little slow. Yeah, I didn't like that I moved it around. Anyway, it's a great exercise. It's not cooperating at the moment, but I was listening, it was getting late and I'm like listening to that audio overview, and it wasn't short. I think it was like, what did it say it was? Like, it's 18 minutes long. I only listened to like the first half, but it was so interesting because it's talking about what the content was. And it talked about me explaining how I made the video while I was walking my dog, and they humorize it, but they also talk about the brilliance and what, all these different things. And the bottom line is all about pressing the button, just making your videos. But I followed what Neil did in his article, is basically to hear, as he says in the article, you're listening to hear your own expertise reflected back to you in a format you wouldn't have produced yourself. It's a useful mirror. And that's what I wanted to do. And it was great exercise. I will have the links to the things we discussed today over in my YouTube on the description. So I'll definitely have the link to that article Neil did. I'll have the link to my article, Substack, that I read at the beginning of the hour. So be sure to just check on my @Madalyn Skylar YouTube channel. I'll put the links in there in just a bit. But yeah, I'm just geeking out over this stuff. But this is all this stuff happens so fast, and I'm still wrapping my head around some of it. I'll get back to y'all. I'm going to try to see if I can build some Codex workflows directly in my ChatGPT so I can report back to y'all. If anybody is able to utilize Codex workflows directly without downloading the app, let me know, because it'll be interesting to see who else can do that. Larry was asking, was that the 18-minute long audio? How many minutes was the video? That's such a great question. Let me go grab the video really quick. The video, excellent question. The video I reference as the source is only 5 minutes and 56 seconds. Let me show y'all real quick. It is just, all I did is I took the replay of this show from several weeks ago. Let me bring it up and show y'all this. I used Descript and had it pull out just the part where I talked about it. Here it is. It's going to be a little meta with us on the screen. So this is it. I just pulled, all I did is pull this, play a short little video I made this morning, and just to show you the power of video. I made this short video while I'm out walking my dog. I literally have the leash in one hand, my phone in the other. I made this whole video from start to finish while I was doing like a 30-minute-ish walk. And not only that, I did all the editing. By the way, I forgot to click to use the correct mic. And then I played the video. In this clip, it goes right into, the actual video itself.
From hitting the record button on your phone and making little videos.
And then later we're talking about
hey,
it. Rachel, good to see you. So originally it was my 30-day overthink, because that's always a big part. We all overthink. All they did was take the information that's in that video. And really it's AI. All it has is the transcript. It took the transcript of that and made that audio overview. But it is giving me ideas. It got me like, oh man, it's having me think about things I wouldn't think about before, of how I can actually improve my class that I'm teaching with that, and other content I could put out. And now it's like, okay, I want to add some other sources and utilize this. So I thought it was a really interesting exercise and something we don't hear people talking about much. So having that audio overview where you're hearing people talk about your content is super interesting. So I'm giving everybody so much homework. It's like all these cool things to go try and see, and then check back and let us know how it worked out for you. So that's what I have for y'all today. I hope I didn't overload y'all with too much. I know I was just all over the place. It was just so many these little bits I had collected. I think I need to go make like a recorded video, like making this more cohesive. But
it's been real.
Yeah. Well, it's great seeing everybody. Thank y'all for hanging out while I show y'all all this stuff. Barb, always good to see you. We'll be back next Thursday to do this again. I'll put more stuff in our Skool community with all of this. If you're not in our Skool community, be sure to join us over at skool.com. I've got a shortcut link for you, bit.ly/Madalyn Skool. It's free to join. And that's where the conversations continue from this live chat, is we're hanging out in there. And I've got all kinds of stuff I've been sharing over there. All the different AI things I come across, I'm posting them there. So, yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Everybody have a great rest of your day.
You too. Bye-bye.